Dennis Rodman and Shaquille Oneal. Rodman has certainly done an effective job defending against Shaquille.
I think Dennis knows that he can't play me one-on-one. This is not a Dennis Rodman Shaq thing.
Like they say, no matter how big he is, he can fall just as easy.
The 1996 Eastern Conference Finals between the Chicago Bulls and the Orlando Magic is most remembered for being the story of Michael Jordan's revenge after the Magic eliminated the Bulls the year before. But another story arose, and it was between the two loudest personalities on the court, Dennis Rodman and Shaquille Oneal. Shaq was usually not bothered by anyone, but Rodman got under his skin. Shaq even said during the series that he was ready to put Rodman on a stretcher if needed, but Shaq wasn't the only one talking. Rodman spoke about Shaq, and he even predicted the future. Shaquille won't be here next year, Rodman said. He'll be in LA for sure. There are a lot more opportunities out there. You've got movies, records, endorsements. The series opened in Chicago, and despite Orlando winning 60 games on the season, not many people gave the Magic a chance since the Bulls won a thin record 72 games. Shaq was ready to prove the doubters wrong in Game 1, and he started hot. The Bulls had Luke Longley on Shaq to start, and it proved to be ineffective. Shaq easily got inside position on Longley early on and finished with a power slam dunk. Shaq followed that up with a jump hook over Longley, proving the Australian center was no match for him. Shaq again converted over Longley, plus drawing the foul. Chicago then tried Bill Winnington on Shaq, but he had no luck as well. The Bulls knew they needed a change, especially after Shaq easily got away from Winnington and finished with a huge alley-oop slam dunk.
Got it to 5 or less. Orlando done fast breaking off defensive rebounds. Shaquille and Rodman with another rebound. O'Neal took it away and scored.
Work of art.
And Bill Wennington took a shot in the chin and jaw area for his trouble. And Bill, that's why the Magic have come with Anthony Bowie and Donald Royal. They will run the wings if the Magic can force a turnover or get a rebound.
Wennington going to try it again. Look, front rim, Rodman on the offensive play.
That's a terrible mismatch for Donald Royal or Anthony Bowie to try to mix it up physically underneath the glass with Dennis Rodman.
7.5 to play in the first. By 7 in the lob for O'Neal.
The Bulls head coach Phil Jackson knew exactly what that change would be: Dennis Rodman. The Worm was ready to prove he could stop the Big Diesel. Shaq not only struggled to get good shots over Rodman, but he wasn't getting as good position in the paint as he had been getting against Longley and Winnington. Rodman not only had Shaq missing close-in shots, but he also forced Shaq to turn the ball over as well. Shaq's frustration was evident when Rodman guarded him. With under 3:15 remaining in the third quarter, Shaq spun off Rodman in the post and he looked to score, but Rodman grabbed him hard, stopping the made bucket. This led to Shaq throwing his arms up in disgust, but that's how his night went.
And Rodman grabs him and says, part of the game.
Well, Bill, you talked earlier in the ballgame about Magic can get back into this and proceed in the series. Is start with a little rage here. The hard foul by Rodman, and Shaq has to get mad. He's got to be very disappointed.
Shaq scored 27 points in Game 1 on 13 for 21 shooting, but only made one field goal while being guarded by Rodman. The Bulls easily took Game 1, 121-83. The same strategy was used in Game 2. Longley would start the game guarding Shaq. Longley would pick up 2 quick fouls as he struggled to keep Shaq away from the basket. This led to Rodman switching into Shaq. But first, Rodman showed off his offensive skills by finishing a left-handed dunk over the Magic.
Two guys ready to score tonight. Very embarrassed by Game 1 performance. But there we have it again. Scottie Pippen going right by Dennis Scott.
Finds Pippen, who's posting up. O'Neal with a double team that leaves Rodman open.
Defense by Orlando.
Shaq was ready to prove no one, not even Rodman, could guard him. With under 2 minutes to go in the first half, Shaq took Rodman down in the post and finished with a tough and one basket over Rodman and Kukoc. Shaq made the free throw, giving the Magic a commanding 48-34 lead. The Magic was firing on all cylinders in the first half. Everyone got involved, including Dennis Scott, who drilled a fadeaway jumper over two Bulls defenders on the Magic's next possession. Along with Shaq dominating the first half was Hardaway, who finished a driving layup over the Bulls with 32 seconds left in the first half, making Bulls fans worry a repeat of last year was on hand. The Magic's 53-38 lead was impressive, but you knew the Bulls wouldn't lay down without a fight. Shaq wasn't going to lay down either.
They have one more field goal attempt than Chicago. I like their aggressiveness. They're taking the shots when they're there. Chicago's a team that's outshot, out field goal attempted their opponents 105 so far in the playoffs. And we're seeing play after play where Shaq is patient down in the low post, getting the position that he wants before he settles for the shot.
Might we expect some tactical changes in how they are defending Shaquille?
Yeah, I got a feeling that depending on how the lead goes, that they are going to come down and...
Starting the third quarter off with the hook shot over Longley. The Bulls would quickly get things going first with their defense, which set up their offense with 9 minutes on the clock in the third. Jordan stole the ball from Nick Anderson and quickly passed to Pippen, who gave it right back to Jordan, who finished with a slam dunk.
Saving it for Orlando. Jordan picks him up in the backcourt. Pippen comes to the trap. Scottie Pippen back to Michael Jordan. Beautiful.
Rodman started to go to work on Shaq, playing him straight up or providing good help defense when Longley guarded him. Shaq was forced to pass out of the post with Rodman's quick double teams, and when he guarded Shaq, he forced him into bad shots, including a shot Shaq hoisted up to beat the shot clock that missed the rim. Rodman's brilliance continued as he drilled a turnaround jumper over Shaq in the post. The Bulls stormed back into the game and won 93-88, largely thanks to Rodman's defense and his surprising 15 points to go along with 12 rebounds.
Get the ball to him soon.
Steve Kerr, Jordan guarded by Shaw. Oh, the dandy rebound from Dennis Rodman. Timed it perfectly.
But right here, look at three guys. There goes Shaq for the block again. Doesn't get the block.
Shaq scored 26 points in the first half, but was held to just 10 in the second half. With the Magic now trailing 0-2, the Big Diesel needed to figure out how to overcome Rodman's defense if he wanted to lead his team back into the series. Shaq wanted to send an early message in the first quarter, demonstrating that Rodman or anyone couldn't stop him.
With Shaquille O'Neal.
It's different, playing home. Shots that we don't usually hit at home, they go down for us. We have great fans. My mom's in the stands watching. My family, my people, my city. So it's just an extra adrenaline here.
Well, Matt, for Orlando, it's certainly not.
Shaq made a decisive move on Longley, slamming the ball hard and pushing off Rodman, who came to help after his dunk. Things would not continue to go smoothly for Shaq in Game 3. The Bulls' defense, led by Rodman, swarmed Shaq. With less than 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Shaq attempted to make a shot but was blocked by Rodman, who came over to help after Shaq spun off Longley. Rodman followed that great block up immediately with another, swapping Joe Wolf's shot as he tried to beat the shot clock. The Bulls' defense held Shaq to an abysmal 8 for 19 shooting, while Pippen caught fire for the Bulls' offense. Pippen made everything from post-up shots to threes and reverse layups. Pippen's 27 points and Rodman's 16 rebounds led the Bulls to a dominant 86-67 victory.
They have not scored in over 5 minutes. Pippen, 5 to go in the third. Pippen shaking off Scott. Another
Defense not able to get back there, and Scottie Pippen has been feeling it offensively. Puts it off the glass, nice and sweet.
clock at 5. Pippen has had the hot hand. Scottie Pippen, 8 of 9 from the field. Third quarter, Pippen with 8 of the 13. Here's Pippen. Was breaking down court, but the Bulls could not get the ball to him. Bushler. And O'Neal hits the deck, takes Rodman with him. Rodman complaining that he was tripped up by O'Neal. I see a technical foul has been called. Steve Javie with the call against Shaquille.
And Dennis Rodman saying he grabbed my foot and pulled me down. Dennis Rodman did pick up the foul as he was trying to back into Shaquille for the offensive rebound. Knew he was beaten on the play. Dennis knocking it loose, and now here's where he fouls Shaquille. And then Shaquille does grab the right leg in the ankle area of Dennis Rodman, and that's why called for the technical foul.
Here the reaction from Chicago on Wednesday night. O'Neal. Foul by Rodman. So Shaquille back to the line where he is 1 for 7.
Now, for one of the rare times after a shot going up, the Chicago Bulls defense falling asleep, and everybody
Particular group as it's constituted. And a foul is called. Rodman hit by O'Neal. I would think there are many questions that can be raised.
Well, I can't see the Orlando Magic making any kind of drastic changes as we see Dennis Rodman getting sandwiched in there, knocked hard to the floor. They do have two big signs.
The Magic now trailed 3-0 in the series and faced an undaunted task. Like the previous games, Shaq started off strong against Longley, including spinning off him for a powerful alley-oop slam dunk with under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Rodman would again switch into Shaq, and his defense really bothered the Big Diesel. Shaq started to show his frustrations by first throwing the ball hard at Rodman as the two battled for the rebound off a Jordan missed free throw.
O'Neal tried to save it and stepped out.
Then, with a minute and a half left in the first half, Shaq made a move in the post against Rodman. The play was stopped due to a foul. Despite the whistle, Shaq continued his move, throwing an elbow which prompted Rodman to grab Shaq's arm. In response, Shaq pushed Rodman away as the referee intervened. This led to Shaq's teammates and head coach, Brian Hill, jawing at Rodman.
You to jaw at one another. As there's been some hard hitting there, the shove by Shaquille Oneal and Brian Hill walking out towards Dennis Rodman. Richie Adubato protecting Brian. How good that's going to be right now, but so this when you're a team.
Once again, this proved Rodman's dominance over the Magic as he truly won the mind game over his opponent. Rodman literally shut down Shaq in Game 4. Overall, the Big Diesel scored 28 points on an efficient 11 for 13 shooting. When Rodman was Shaq's primary defender, he only scored 3 points, which came from the free throw line, and he didn't attempt a single field goal. The Bulls won Game 4 106-101, largely thanks to Jordan's 45-point masterpiece. But let's not forget Rodman's stellar play on Shaq, which ultimately led to the Bulls' impressive 4-0 sweep and essentially sending Shaq packing to LA. When you really look back at it, Rodman's defense, along with his mind games, truly was the MVP of the series.